Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to dive deep into something that's a total game changer in Clash Royale. I'm talking about the ruler cards in Merge Tactics mode. Seriously, if you've been looking to totally switch up your strategy, this is exactly what you need to know about. So, you ready to really shake things up? Because Merge Tactics, it's not just about what troops you drop on the board. No. It's all about who you pick to lead them. We're talking a whole new level of strategy here, way beyond your standard battles. All right, let's get right into it. First things first, what in the world are ruler cards? Let's break down the rules of royalty, shall we? Okay, so think of a ruler card like, well, it's your general, your champion for the whole match. You pick one right at the beginning, and its special power, the game calls it a ruler modifier. That one thing is going to dictate your entire game plan. Every move you make will revolve around it. And what's really cool is how these rulers are balanced. They all play by the same basic rules, right? You pick them at the start, they've got 10 hit points, and leveling them up, it's not about getting more power. It's pure cosmetics, cool skins, awesome confetti effects. This is super smart because it means the real game is all about their unique abilities. That's where the strategy gets deep. And you know, this whole thing hasn't just been sitting still. It all started back in June 2025 with just two rulers, the Royale King and the Spirit Empress. But then, bam! Just a few months later, we got the Goblin Queen and Elixir Long, and they totally flipped the meta on its head. It just goes to show you they're really committed to keeping this mode fresh. Okay, here we go. The main event. Let's actually meet these rulers. Every single one opens up a completely different way to play the game. So listen up. Let's find the one that's perfect for you. First on the list, we've got the OG, the Royal King. This guy, his whole thing is being tough and just not giving up. He's actually a bit tankier than the others, which is a nice little bonus. He's really built for players who look at a loss and think, okay, now's my chance. And his special ability, Royal Commission, is just genius. When you lose a round, you get a big old chunk of elixir. So get this, you can actually lose on purpose, take a little hit, and then bam, you've got this massive elixir advantage to come back with. It's absolutely perfect if you're running those big, expensive cards. You just take a small loss and then drop something huge that your opponent just can't deal with. I mean, his quote says it all, right? Even losers are winners. With this guy, you're playing the long game. It's all about taking a punch so you can throw a knockout blow right back. All right, next is the Spirit Empress. Now, if you're the kind of player who just loves merging troops, making them bigger and badder, well, she is absolutely your girl. Her whole strategy is about rewarding you for doing just that, over and over again. Her ability is called Fusion Foresight, and it basically turns your board into an elixir printing machine. Every single time you merge two units, you get a golden elixir. So the play is simple. Flood the board with cheap troops, start merging like crazy, and just watch your economy explode. It's this awesome feedback loop that just gets stronger and stronger. And that's why her line, "It's raining troops," is so perfect. That's literally what it feels like. You're just drowning your opponent in units, constantly merging, constantly upgrading, until you have this giant, unstoppable wave of an army. Okay, let's switch gears completely. Next up is the Goblin Queen, and she is all about pure, unadulterated chaos. Forget your careful plans and your perfect economy. The Goblin Queen wants you to embrace the madness of the fight. Her power, Green or Grin, is, well, it's wild. There's a 33% chance, so 1 in 3, that any enemy troop you defeat comes back on your side as a goblin. Think about that. If someone tries to swarm you, you just turn their own army against them. You're not just beating them, you're stealing their troops. It's amazing. And her line, "Green is good for the environment," it's just perfect for her personality, right? You're basically recycling your opponent's army into your own. It's hilarious, it's messy, and it can absolutely wreck people. Moving on, we've got the Elixir Lung. Now, if the Empress was all about actively building your economy by merging, the Lung is the complete opposite. This is all about a slow, steady, passive buildup. This is for the patient player who wants to win by just inevitably becoming too powerful to stop. And here's the kicker with his ability, Endless Spring. It's a double whammy. Every single turn, you get a free golden elixir, and you get to have one more troop on your team. It's just a pure snowball effect. You're getting richer and your army is getting bigger at the same time every single turn. The late game is just insane. So when you hear his quote, "Talk about superiority," yeah, that's exactly what it feels like. You're just building and building towards this point where you are just undeniably the strongest one on the board. It's a real power trip.
And last, but definitely not least, we have the battle machine. Okay? This one is for the real big brain players out there. If you want to play a completely different game than your opponent, this is your guy. He basically takes the rulebook and throws it out the window.
His ability is called Building Master, and it is the definition of high risk, high reward. You get free, powerful buildings on certain turns. But there's a huge catch. On turn 5, your team size actually gets smaller, so the whole strategy shifts to area control. You use things like Tornado to just pull enemies into your deadly buildings. It's all about building an unbreakable fortress.
And his quote, "Unemployment rates are skyrocketing," is just a perfect, hilarious nod to that downside. You're literally laying off your troops to make room for the big guns. It's a wild strategy, but if you pull it off, your side of the map becomes a death trap.
So, we've seen all 5 of these absolute powerhouses. The biggest question now is, which one is calling your name? Because honestly, it all comes down to how you like to play.
So let's break it down real simple. You want to make a comeback? Pick the Royal King. You want to build a giant swarm? Go with the Spirit Empress. Want to win slowly but surely with a giant economy? That's the Elixir Lawn. You thrive on pure chaos? The Goblin Queen is your best friend. And if you'd rather build a fortress than field an army, you've got to try the battle machine.
And there you have it. Each ruler gives you a totally different way to win. But you know this game, it never stops changing. We already know new rulers like Echo Sage and Dagger Duchess are coming. So the real question is, what's the next big strategy going to be? Which of these playstyles is going to dominate the arena? We'll have to wait and see. Thanks so much for tuning in.